On paper, New York's mayor, Bill de Blasio, has a near-dream resume to take the helm of the Bernie Sanders wing of the Democratic Party. His far-left bona fides as an unapologetic supporter of the socialist Nicaraguan Sandinistas in the 1980s and someone who literally honeymooned in Cuba during the embargo are unimpeachable. So too are his mainstream Democratic credentials after he worked as an aide for the former New York Mayor David Dinkins before managing Hillary Clinton's successful 2000 Senate bid. He's also a winner, never having lost an election after 3 city council races, the 2009 election for New York City's public advocate, and his run for the mayorship in 2013. Polling suggests that de Blasio will comfortably earn re-election as New York mayor on Tuesday and maintain that winning streak. New York Mayor Bill de Blasio faces grilling over alleged fundraising scandal. Read more. When he does, he'll enter his 5th year with the city solvent, crime low, and a good deal of his 2013 campaign promises delivered. He'll also enter without much of the luster he brought with him to City Hall the first time around, as a potential standard-bearer of the Democratic Party's left flank. Then, back in those pre-Sanders days, de Blasio's leftist, popular appeal brought him an international profile, and he seemed destined to become the leader of a new left movement within the Democratic Party. In 2013, he was among the stars of the progressive movement, but it's like sports teams. On paper, they can look wonderful. Then they get on the field, and it's a different story sometimes, said Doug Muzzio, a political scientist at Barrett College who specializes in city politics. There just seems to be something about his persona that turns people off. A stubborn refusal to support such symbols of New York as the Yankees. He grew up in Boston and roots for the Red Sox, and the lot at Elevated Park, the High Line, may not have helped. It is just a big open viewing station, that's all it does, he asked of one section of the West Side Park built on former train tracks during his first visit this September. I am a crazed, rabid baseball fan and Red Sox fan, he has said firmly of his baseball loyalties. It is constitutionally impossible to quote-unquote root for the New York Yankees. New York mayors have often marshaled profiles that reach well beyond the 5 boroughs. Rudy Giuliani basked in the celebrity of the guy who cleaned up New York throughout the 1990s and embraced the America's Mayor label after 9/11s. He was Times Person of the Year in 2001. Advertisement. His 3-term successor, the billionaire Michael Bloomberg, brought his name recognition to the office from the business world and his Bloomberg News media outlets. He maintained a similarly high profile beyond New York and used the visibility of the mayor's office to advocate for national issues such as gun control. Bloomberg mulled a presidential run as a centrist independent in 2016 and Giuliani made a failed bid for the Republican presidential nomination in 2008. De Blasio has refused to answer questions on whether he might have his sights set on such a move, and his forays into the world beyond the city since 2013 have been uninspired. He proposed a Progressives caucus in Iowa ahead of the 2016 Democratic primary caucus there, which promptly fell through. He withheld his endorsement of his former boss Hillary Clinton until late, reportedly dithering between her and Sanders to find that Clinton's campaign didn't value it all that much. But by almost any measure, things in the city are good. If you look at the numbers, things are moving in the right direction. Employment is up. Unemployment is down. Poverty is moving down, not dramatically, but moving in the right direction. Earnings are up, said Joseph Vitoriti, author of The Pragmatist, Bill de Blasio's quest to save the soul of New York, adding that crime also remained down despite the claims from his opponents on the right that his election would usher in a new crime wave. Critics say his feud with the New York State Governor, Andrew Cuomo, also a Democrat, has meant much-needed improvements to the city's creaking subway system have been slow to arrive. On issues of homelessness and affordable housing, the mayor admits not enough of his agenda has been met, but he's racked up more wins than losses. De Blasio was able to push through his signature campaign promise, universal pre-kindergarten for city pupils, early on in 2015 without too much wrangling. He put another feather in his cap by negotiating union contracts for all of the city's nearly 300,000-strong workforce, something Bloomberg had kicked down the road for years. The city has upped its minimum wage, passed mandatory sick leave, and in 2014 became one of the first cities to flaunt federal immigration enforcement, passing sanctuary city legislation, all straight out of the progressive agenda playbook.